I got diagnosed in 2011 with bipolar disorder, and basically what that is like, half of that is like mania. So you suffer through like manic episodes, and then the second half of that is depression. So usually what happens is, you go on the highs for a little while. It could be like a week, and then once that's done, then come the lows. So then you go through like a depression, and it doesn't even have to be like that anything's going good or anything's going bad. It just happens, man. And it could so yeah, actually, I just not too long ago I went through a manic episode for the first time in a couple years, and I knew it was going in that direction. So I'm happy that I recognized it, and I wasn't too far gone to be like, hey man, you need some sleep. So I went without sleep for a couple days, maybe like 3 days, and it just got worse. So when it first started, I'm like, oh, I just got a little bit of mania, and it feels good. So really, like, it's a good experience until it's not. So I knew like the last day, so like day 3, I was like, oh, this is about to go bad. So I recognized it, and I went home, man. Took some some pills that helped me go to sleep, because I really needed it. And then and I was able to get through that, and that's just from going through that whole experience before that. So in 2011, it was like my worst manic episode. Leading up to that, even as a kid, I experienced like manic episodes, depression. I just didn't know what it was. I just thought it was normal. So for me, my normal was, feeling great, and then feeling really bad, So growing up, I thought that shit was normal. I'm like, damn, everybody feels like they want to kill themselves. Like, this is what people go through every day. I thought it was normal, man, until as a kid going through that. I didn't get diagnosed till I was 24, and that's when I found out, like, oh shit, like, this is not normal, And but I never even knew about that. I never even knew that bipolar disorder existed. I didn't know until I got diagnosed. I was in the Marine Corps at the time, and I was put in like a mental facility, and that's probably the worst experience I've ever been through. I went to the initial hospital. I was in that like psych ward unit of the hospital. And I was stationed in New Orleans at the time, so I spent this whole time like in the New Orleans hospital. I think it was Jefferson Parish. And then after I got out of there, they moved me to a mental facility, and I was in that for about 2 weeks, and like a psych ward. And that's probably like the most bottom of the bottom. That was rock bottom for me. 2011, I'm sitting there. I feel like I got kidnapped. I got put in a mental facility. I'm thinking there's nothing wrong with me at all. But at that point, I probably went about 10 days without sleeping. And I was gone. I was having all these crazy thoughts. I thought I was about to do something. They have part of mania is thoughts of grandeur. And so I was thinking all kinds of crazy shit, man. And then finally, after that, once they put me on medication, they put me on lithium, they put me on Seroquel, which not great. I would never want to be on lithium or Seroquel again. Lithium makes you feel kind of like a zombie, and then Seroquel, helps you sleep at night, gets you enough sleep, but it adds weight, and you wake up, man, you feel like tired. I dealt with that for a while, but I really needed that at that time because I was so far gone, like mentally. But yeah, man, I spent like 2 weeks in that psych ward, and then once I got out of there, I went to this little prison in like somewhere in Louisiana. It was called Bogart Parish Prison, I think, and it was like a shack. And they just put me there to hold me there, until I got out. Because basically it was like a mutual agreement, like, well, this dude got bipolar disorder, he can't continue on. So basically, like a mutual agreement, I got out, almost kind of like a medical type thing. And but I've been dealing with that ever since. I just been staying on medication because for me it works. I don't really see myself getting off medication, and I've been through so many of them. So, you know, my advice for people that have like some type of disorder, you know, depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, like anything like that, any mental disorder like that, man, I would say if it gets to the point where either you're reckless or you're really depressed, like I would say you really got to go see a doctor and try to get some help. And it might not be the first med, the second, the third, you know, it could be a gang of medications that you got to go through to get to the one that works. So, you know, for me, man, lithium, Seroquel, Depakote, all those didn't work. And then I seen the Latuda commercial with the happy white lady in the commercial. She was just like, she was down and then she was all happy. Man, I took that, and that shit gave me anxiety, so I had to stop taking that shit. So, you know, it ain't gonna be the first one that might work, might not be the second, man. But you know, some people, like, you know, you look at all these artists, you know, movie stars, rock stars, like, you know, when people commit suicide, you know, and they seem happy, you know, I'm not gonna say the name, but there's a lot of people that look happy, you know, and they commit suicide. And to me, you know, I hate when people say, oh, that person took the easy way out. Man, if you ever thought about committing suicide, you know that's not the easy way out. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've never done, you know. So it's not the easy way to go out. You know, when people are at that, you know, at the edge of the bed, like ready to end it, it's really because they feel like they got nowhere else to go. Like, this is it, you know what I'm saying? So I would say if you're ever having those feelings, man, you definitely need to go talk to somebody, man. I believe in therapy, and like I said, just the right medication, you know. So I take the, you know, well, everything is legal now, so, you know, take some medications, take some other medications, and yeah, just try to live with it, man, get through it. It's super difficult, man, like, but if you know about it, you know, and you know, because there's people that act like disorders don't exist, and that's the worst, man, because then you don't believe in medication, you don't believe in therapy, and you just got to be like, you know, I hate that whole terminology, like man up. Like, yeah, you can man up, man, but you still gotta go, you know, maybe talk to somebody or take medication, and you know, you just trying to live for yourself, man, trying to survive, really, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, me, like with this whole new shit, like outlook on life, man, I've been really just trying not to give too many fucks. So like, I ain't trying to check the views, I ain't trying to check the streams and all that. I'm just doing it, letting it do what it do. And because I already have too many stressors in life, you know what I'm saying? Like, I already deal with this mental disorder, you know. So when people, like, I used to go back and forth with people that talk shit online. I'm like, not no more. I'm like, now I'm like, man, I'm already dealing with too many stress, you know, too much stress. So what I do is like, man, somebody say something bad, I just block them. I'm like, I don't need that shit in my life. And that's in real life and on social media. So like, if someone is bringing me stress in real life, I just block them out of my life, man. On social media, block them. And it don't even have to be directed towards me, man. I be scrolling and someone could say something bad about Biggie. Someone could say like, man, Biggie's overrated. Block. I just block their ass, man, because I don't want to see that shit. I'm like, first of all, that shit comes off super ignorant. And I'm a hip hop head, man, so I'm like, you know, you saying something bad about somebody that's great, and I'm just like, that, I don't need that in my life, so I just block them, man. And I give that advice to everybody, man, like in real life and on social media. Like, if you're already dealing with too much stress, man, block their ass.